Call the May 18th, 2026 regular board meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is anyone from the Ministerial Alliance? I guess bow your heads, and April, you'll know that you can be up.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We're thankful for all that are joining us this evening. Lord, we just ask that you look over and guide those that have and are still struggling with the fires, Lord, and that you keep them safe. And Lord, please bring us some rain, as we definitely need it with the storms we have been having. We ask that you guide our decisions tonight, Lord, and that we be respectful to one another. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, citizens' comments. Do we have any citizen that wants to address the commission? Come forward. The rules are, you know the rules, but any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized by the chair, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address in an audible tone for the record. Presentation shall be limited to 5 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission.
Okay. My name's Rick Madden, live at 1509 Fairview. Come to address the commission on item 16 of your agenda today. For a little history about that, I went on the government website, and it's government salaries. And you can look up anybody's salaries that you want. And I'm going to read this one. It's Bree Greason, 2024, was employed at Seward County, had an annual salary of $107,446 according to public records. This salary was 194% higher than the average and 192% higher than the median salary in Seward County. Public records show Bree Greason worked for Seward County from 2021 to 2024. According to these public records, salary increased by $3,829 from 2023 to 2024, which is a 3.7% raise. Since 2021, the salary has increased by $60,310. That's a total raise of 128%. Okay? The health department, over the past years, have been given bonuses out, and I think the record showed somewhere in the vicinity over $200,000. Item 16 states that not all the budget was spent, so they want to use the unspent budget amount for a 7% wage increase for all employees at Seward County Health Department. I don't understand why the budget amount can't be put back into next year's budget. It seems the health department has an issue with raises and bonuses. Other departments were asked to reduce their budget at the expense of losing personnel and services because of the shortcoming of funds. I'm sure other department heads would like 128% salary increase in the next 4 years. And their employees and other departments would like bonuses and raises like the health department get. So if you decide to okay this request, just remember the other employees and that they might have a reason for dissent among all other employees. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Same rules. I don't need to read them twice.
My name is Carolyn Huddleston. I live at 316 West 7th Street here in Liberal. I've been taking a look at employee turnover following in April's footsteps for this period of time, January 1 to April 30th, 2026. In the first table I gave you here, I entered what I had as the full-time employees of the county for the start of 2026. Those people are all marked January 2026 in the column for the date. Those that follow where it just says 2026 are the new hires. If somebody left, I put a strikeout mark through his or her name. For each department, the department head is listed first, followed by any salaried individuals, and then the remaining employees. My data source for this table was pay records plus some information April provided. On my summary sheet, the first column shows the total number of full-time employees who worked in that department during this 4-month period. That is, how many there were at the beginning, plus any new hires. The second column shows my employee numbers for January 1, and the next one, my end of April numbers. And finally, I've listed the changes. For example, -1 + 1 means this department lost one person and hired one person. You can refer back to the big table to verify these numbers, and I've emailed you all the underlying data files, so you can go to that if you wish to check on my work more thoroughly. Next in your pile is the list April gave me of the 28 people who left. 4 people are listed twice, but subtracting those duplications, there's still a total of 28. Yes, these people did all leave, but I believe one of them never worked for the county in 2026. That's Thomas C., who had been employed at the landfill. I've provided a list of the pay dates so you can follow the data on the next 2 sheets. Between December 14, 2025 and January 10, 2026, this man only had about 109 hours total. You'd expect a full-time person to have 160 hours in 2 pay periods. And you might note that this man's actual work time is less than 1 hour in those 4 weeks, which suggests to me an exit interview. In any case, records for the next pay period don't show him as an employee. I think it's pretty clear this guy was never on the job working in 2026, so I excluded him from my data. The volunteer fireman on the list was a part-time employee. April would have had a lot more than 209 total at the lowest point if part-time people were being included in her numbers. So that man doesn't belong in this group either. If we remove those 2, we have 26, not 28, full-time employees who left their jobs with the county between January 1 and April 30th. Further, you might note that 3 more are economic development staff who transferred to the city payroll. Yes, these 3 employees were subtracted off the county payrolls, and so they are part of the -26 on my summary sheet. But these people are still doing work for the county, as well as the city, and I don't think they should be counted if we're trying to verify an employee hemorrhage. So that means 23, not 26 full-time people we don't want to see going who left the county in 4 months. What about that number, 23? I've looked at 3 other periods of time, which I'll report on at your next meeting, but suffice it to say the best data came from calendar year 2024, where there were a total of 60 employees who left, which would be 20 in a 4-month period. That's the best. Back to my summary sheet. I have the county starting the year with 215 full-time employees, and like April said, that number went down to 209. However, the start number of 215 is deceptively low because the commission was 3 members down at the start of 2026. If the commission had been at their normal number, it would have been 218 employees going down to 209 in 4 months, which to me makes that drop seem like more. That is 9 unfilled positions. But we can't forget about those economic development staff. That's -3 on purpose. So it wasn't really 9, but 6 unfilled positions here. Or did the county want some of these other positions to remain open too? Back in September, April eliminated 18 positions. Some of these were positions that hadn't been filled in some time, but others did have someone in them during 2025, but weren't to be filled again. So some decline in the numbers of employees and since the start of 25 has been by design. So I believe there were, I believe there were 228 full-time employees at the beginning of 2025, and that dropped to 213 by October 1, according to April. See her email. You might note that this number, 213, included the economic development people who have transferred to the city payroll, so it would have been 210 without them. Another complicating issue when we consider 6 open positions is whether there are good candidates for those jobs, but they haven't been hired. In April's email, as reprinted in the Leader and Times, she indicated that there was at least one position where she had good candidates, but was choosing not to hire anyone. So it's unclear how many employees there would be if good applicants were being brought on board. I'll have more about fluctuations in the number of open positions next time. Any questions?
Thank you for the numbers.
You're welcome.
Do we have any more from?
Yes. I just want to be able to address what was said. April Warden, 12840 Road 2, Liberal, Kansas. When we talk about the numbers that they were talking about, and even though we include economic development people, I don't think people realize what went into that transition. We have to do an exit interview. We had to take those people off of our payroll. We are still working with legal for the resolution and the interlocal agreement. There's a lot that goes into somebody leaving and somebody coming besides just seeing the numbers that we want to talk about. There was actually, if you look at it in the information that I sent Carolyn, 32 people that left, 22 people that we hired. If you add that together, that's 54 people. Yes, we were able to lose some and gain some, but I want commissioners and the constituents of this county to understand what we go through when that happens. There's a drug and alcohol test that costs $81.50 per employee. There's also the Clear Company background. We have a package deal on it, so I'm working on getting the commissioners the cost of every background check that we have to do. There are changes that have to take place in payroll. There's CAPERS benefits, we have to contact them. KPNF, IMED, Advanced Life Insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, AFLAC, Wellness, AirMed, I could go on and on. Fuelman, some of them have credit cards, so we order them a card and then we're deleting a card. Some of them have cell phones. Some of them have vehicles. We make a badge for every person that comes and goes to be able to get in and out of the county. Key cards. Some have uniforms. Some have boots. Some have radios. Stuff that we have to recollect. Not to mention the training that we do. That is a complete loss when somebody leaves. And as Carolyn pointed out, sometimes these employees aren't staying for more than a day, a week, a month. We also have to do onboarding. Those employees go through sexual harassment training and getting to know our handbook. We also have Compliance One. We also have our employee assistance program. They have to be entered into our HR system. We are doing exit interviews where they have to go through COBRA and the other benefits that we are required to go over with them. IT has to set them up. Every employee has an email, and then we have to go in and delete that or figure out if we need to maintain that because that person might be getting emails that someone then has to look at. We set them up in ExecuTime and timekeeping. They're set up in CIC. We have 2 different payrolls. We also have a Sage payroll for our Oklahoma employees. There are people that go through and update a phone list. Those are just some of the things that I could think of off the top of my head as she was talking. I don't think anybody understands what it takes to hire somebody and what it takes to exit someone and everything that is included. It is a significant cost to the county when this is happening. Thank you for letting me explain.
Do we have anyone else that wants to address the commission? Okay. Seeing none, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
And he was also going to help Linda Johnson with item number 11. Mark's daughter did playing in state softball tonight. I would like for him to be able to go watch his daughter.
Okay, so we'd move it to item 4A.
For A and B to encompass original items 11 and 12, correct?
They have like 6 and 7, so we can make it 7A.
7A and B. Okay, do we have a motion to move item 11 to 7A and item 12 to 7B?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to move item 11 to 7A and item 12 to 7B. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
I will.
Do you have a second?
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Louderback, a second by Commissioner Metlin to approve the amended agenda. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda absent any discussion on that topic.
I'm sorry, as what?
Absent any discussion on those topics.
Do we have a second? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton and a second by Commissioner Metlin to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Motion passes 4-1. Item 3, new employees. Do we have any new employees tonight?
Not believe so, no. None present.
Okay. That moves us to item 4, which is the budget hearing. Bear with me. This is the first one I've done, so we'll get through it. This is the budget hearing for the 2026 amended budget returning to revenue neutral. So we open the budget hearing.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll
Yep.
open the budget hearing.
Need a motion
Need
to
a motion.
open it? No?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. You
We don't need
opened
a
it.
motion to open it.
And so then you'll ask if there's any citizens that wish to speak.
Again, we'll get over it. Is there any citizens that wish to speak for or against the amended budget? No, that it didn't. So seeing none, then do we need a motion to close the budget hearing? Okay, so do we have a motion to close the budget hearing?
I move that we close the budget hearing.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Vasquez to close the budget hearing. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. So now we need a motion to approve the amended R&R budget 2026.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the amended 2026 budget as presented and attached in the agenda from the county clerk.
Do we have a second?
I will.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Louderback to approve the 2026 amended budget returning to RNR or revenue neutral rate. All in favor, raise your right hands. Motion passes 5-0. Okay. Item number 5 is the Mary Rose tax sale update.
Commissioners, in regards to the tax sale update, the last time I was in here, we had got notification from Foreman about disbursement of the tax proceeds. Those have not been done yet. And then as far as the second tax sale, we are on hold until June 10th.
Okay, any questions?
Question?
June 10th is going to be the sale date, or we're not moving forward until that date?
We're not moving forward until that date.
Okay.
And then once that date happens, then we'll be notified by the law firm where we go from there.
Thank you.
Item 6, Kirkmichael update, Steve Linehan.
Good evening, Commissioners. Steve Linehan, Kirkmichael. Don't have a lot to talk about. Just have one thing, and it kind of started with the entrance policy, which we'll talk about with the next item on the agenda. And that's when I got to talking with Albert and Kent in planning and talking about the zoning and the subdivision regulations. And one thing that came up as we developed the entrance policy was that that in the subdivision development regulations, there's not a clear understanding of who maintains roads after a subdivision is built. So what happens is when a subdivision gets built and approved, then in the resolutions, that's when it indicates who takes over that maintenance of the roads. So now with talking with Mark and Road and Bridge, when you go to approve subdivisions, platted subdivisions, and approving that resolution, understanding that if in the future that encumbers the Road and Bridge to then take over the roads, you know, whether that's a mile of roads or 6 miles of roads or whatever, that is putting the responsibility on the county in perpetuity of that subdivision. So something to think about, nothing that we need to do tonight, just something that came up and something that I wanted to talk with the commission about, or at least present in front of the commission about. So, any questions?
Any questions? Okay, so we'll move to item 7, the road entrance policy with final revisions from legal and the county engineer. So we have the two. I read through these, they're the same basic. There's 2 road entrance policies attached.
There's 2 road entrance.
It's listed twice. No, I guess, I'm sorry.
One of them's, I think, is typical
There was
sections.
a profile, I'm sorry.
Yeah, typical
Okay.
sections, yes.
So there's one policy.
So there's one policy, the entrance policy, and that entrance policy we talked about before. There are statutes. In fact, the statute is 68-543 that gives the responsibility of the roads onto the county, how they address it. And so the entrance policy goes further in explaining to everyone, whether that's the county or the constituent, the landowner, who's responsible for constructing and maintaining those entrances. And so that's all been reviewed by myself, Road and Bridge, Albert and Kent in planning, and Andrew with Folston Siefken. So what you have in front of you has been thoroughly reviewed and vetted. And so my recommendation at this time would be to approve the entrance policy going forward.
Okay. So do we have any questions?
I've got one question, and maybe Mark can help with this. I did not see this. I was just told about it, that with some of the recent, what would you call it, ditch reclamation, that a field entrance had been removed. And I don't think it was done maliciously or intentionally. It just happened.
Commissioner, and you don't have to right now, but could you let us know who so that we can look into it to make sure we don't
I
do
will see if
something in
they're
error?
comfortable with that.
Okay.
But it wasn't somebody complaining. It was just something that occurred, and they said, "Well, what's this going to mean?" And I don't think it was in a place where it would truly be a drainage issue. I think it just got pulled out, and it was done by the road grader. It wasn't done by the skid steer that's been going around and cleaning corners out and stuff like that.
Because I'm looking at our road and bridge director and he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I'm asking, just for clarification. In those situations, is that somebody just need to come to talk to you, Mark, and say, "Hey, this is what happened." Okay. I'll just have them call you directly. Okay.
And maybe expanding on that just a little bit, we do have language in there talking about existing entrances and who maintains existing entrances, new entrances, things like that. So,
Do we have any other questions, comments? Okay. We have a motion to approve or disapprove. It's been through legal, correct?
it has.
So,
just for your guys' information, it's been through Road and Bridge, it's been through legal, it's been through our engineers, Kirk and Michael, and it's also been through planning and zoning.
okay. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Lauterbach, a second by Commissioner Vasquez to approve the road entrance policy. Do we have a resolution number? Because it says, it has resolution number. At the top. So is there supposed to be a number, or is that come back for a resolution?
We can assign a resolution number to it tonight, or I can bring it back to you with the format that we typically use for a
Let's approve it
resolution.
tonight and come back with a resolution
Okay.
number. So there's not, we don't get duplicate numbers or anything. Okay, so all in favor of passing the Seward County standards for entrance construction within unincorporated areas of Seward County, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 7A, also known as item 11. Mark, this is for a replacement motor for the Bobcat skid steer at the event center to replace it, which they determined that it's cheaper, almost as cheap to replace as to rebuild. The cost will be $11,900 or $11,273.90 less $2,400 core credit. Correct?
Yes. We have 90 days to return the core to get credit.
And that engine will be replaced at Road and Bridge.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so we need a motion to approve that if that's the desire, and to issue a special check to pay
Yes.
for
Yes,
that.
and we need to waive the purchasing policy on that as well.
And to waive the purchasing policy. And this will come from Vander Haig Hog.
Yes, they're like the middleman. They,
Right.
search.
That's who the check will be issued to.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So do we have any questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the replacement motor for the Bobcat skid steer as presented. Total amount to come from Equipment Fund 330, $11,273.90. There will be a return on the core charge at $2,400 in the form of a credit. This is to come from Vanderhaeg. And we should also issue a special check and waive the purchasing policy.
Do we have a second? We have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Metlin to approve the purchase of a skid steer replacement engine from Vanderhaeg in the amount of $11,273.90 with a credit to be issued, credit check once for $2,400 when the core is returned, and to waive the purchasing policy and to issue a special check when it is purchased. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item 7B, also known as item 12, it's for the annual rental agreement for the barn for Road and Bridge up on what I refer to as Satana Cutoff.
Yep.
Okay.
That
This-
bill houses 2 graders, a tractor, and a mower.
This is an annual rental payment,
Yes, sir.
and it's in the amount of $1,500. So we would ask the commission to approve the agreement, which should be the same agreement as has been signed in years past, with Thomas Maxwell of Wall Maxwell Farms LLC, and to issue a special check as the current lease expires 5/31/26. We have a motion.
So moved.
We have a second.
I will.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Lauterbach to approve the annual lease agreement with Thomas M. Maxwell of Wall Maxwell Farms for the building lease in the amount of $1,500 and to issue a special check. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. And I know you're leaving, so thank you for the help Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Okay.
Commissioners, some of us had stepped out. There was a fire. There is a fire on Road 19, but it is contained.
Okay.
19 and
Okay, so we'll go to item number 8, which is a grant application. This is for the Sheriff Department to request permission to apply for a grant. Their bulletproof vests are reaching end of life, and they would like to apply for a grant to replace. In the amount of $23,704.60 to cover the expenses, and we're approving the application for the grant, correct? Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the Sheriff Department to apply for a grant for replacement bulletproof vest?
I move that we allow the Sheriff's Department to go ahead with a grant application for bulletproof vests in the amount of $23,704.60.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Vasquez to approve the permission for the Sheriff Department to apply for a grant to cover the expenses for replacement bulletproof vests. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Go to item number 9. It's the Reserve Officers Part-Time Positions Request. I will let you address this, Mr. Undersheriff.
Good evening, Commissioners. Ryan Rohr, Undersheriff. So as of recent, to address legal risks, the Sheriff has disbanded the Sheriff's Office Reserve Program. I'm requesting 3 part-time certified deputy positions to cover the resulting gap in event management and scene security. These roles are designed to be largely self-sustaining through security reimbursements from the Seward County Community College and Southwestern Heights, as well as service fees for security on various county properties and events, as well as more reimbursements from the Kansas Special Traffic Enforcement Program, otherwise known as Click It or Ticket, where you drink, you drive, you lose campaigns.
Okay, so you want to disband in the current reserve program and hire 3 part-time?
Yes, I'm just requesting the 3 part-time positions.
Do you have any, so it's not to, so where is the reserve program? It's not going away?
Essentially, yes, it is. But the 3 part-time positions that would, if you guys were to approve, we would obviously give them first dibs at applying at those positions if anybody was interested, if they were a reserve.
Right, but if those don't apply, then there's no, the reserves will just, the reserve program will, lack of a better word, go away.
Yes, the Sheriff has already disbanded then.
Okay.
The reserve program.
But it's already a done deal.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that program I checked, it's been in existence for over 50 years. But, okay.
Why did that program get discontinued? I'm just curious.
In absence of the Sheriff, I don't want to get into everything, but it is just to address some major legal risks that go along with it.
And those legal questions hasn't come to light in over 50 years.
Like I said,
Right, you weren't here for 50 years. I understand. Yeah. So
a lot of things have changed.
Okay.
So I'm just curious, if we're creating these part-time positions, all the liability devolves to the people hiring them then?
Correct. They'll actually be part-time certified and actually go to the academy and be certified law enforcement officers through the state of Kansas.
So these aren't current deputies just going to fill these 3 positions?
Correct. They will be
New hires?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't understand that part.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you have multiple events in the same day, who's going to cover multiple events?
The full-time and these 3 part-time.
Okay.
How many people were in this program that you guys disbanded?
I think at the time, we were up to 6, 7.
Were they being used often and
Yes.
all of them?
Yes.
So how's that going to affect us from going, or how's that going to affect you guys going from 6, 7 to the 3?
It may affect us. We have had a drop in events at the activity center, major drop. I do know that there's more full-time that are willing to start stepping up and start taking on some of those events as well. I'm asking for 3 to start off with. If this works, I may come back and ask for a couple more. I don't know. I'm hoping this will be fine.
So when we get into this, I don't know if it's an April or an Angela question, but then we start using full-time as security, then our cost or the cost per hour, because we have KPNF and all the other benefits, would fall into that also, correct? I'm looking at either one of you.
So they're doing it above and beyond their normal hours. So they're doing it when they're off duty. Is that what you're saying? Or are they on duty?
No, these will be on duty.
But these would be hours they'd be working anyway. Is that what you're saying?
No, these would be extra hours that
These
they'll
are
be working.
But we're being fully reimbursed,
Correct.
including benefits package and all that.
Correct. The only time they wouldn't be reimbursed, let's just say, for example, we had a major scene and we called them out, then that would actually come out of our budget, but
Yeah.
otherwise it'd be reimbursed, yes.
Okay.
So what do you calculate your hourly rate on overtime for a deputy then?
It would be time and a half after 86 hours for law enforcement.
Plus the KPNF, which is 20, almost 25, is 24 something %. Plus,
And only your full-time employees would have that.
right, but if a full-time employee was working overtime at
Yeah.
an event,
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to,
right?
yeah.
So
If it's reimbursed, I know with the state of Kansas, the traffic safety, it's rather you can be reimbursed for overtime or you're reimbursed just the straight hourly. You have the option for the state. So I would assume we would have the same because it's reimbursed.
but that doesn't bypass hourly wage laws, does it?
And Angela, you can help me, but under Fair Labor Standards, because it's a like job in the same department that they're employed in, I think we would, if they got overtime by working these events, it would have to be paid as overtime. Again, law enforcement doesn't hit overtime until they have 86 hours in a pay period. But yes, you are looking at some of them getting overtime if you need more than the 3 part-time people to work an event.
Okay.
This is Forrest. Just to add, I don't want to overly complicate things, but I believe the threshold for capers liability, KPNF, is independent of full-time or part-time. It's whether they work 1,000 hours in a year.
That is correct. And I'm sorry, I did talk to Ryan about that. But Ryan, you thought they would only be getting like 10 to 15 hours of pay period by working events, or are you guys planning to use them for more than just events?
No, it would be just events. They would also have the opportunity for the other things as well, but like the click it or ticket, but it would be the Southwestern Heights and the college and then our events. That's what would cover it all.
And Forrest is absolutely correct. And I did talk to Ryan and Angela were in the room, and I told them we would need to track those hours to make sure that they're not getting one, where they're eligible for benefits, including KPNF, or because they would be KPNF. And we have to make sure we stay below that threshold.
Do you have any other questions? Anybody? What's the desire of the commission?
It doesn't appear that it has a negative financial impact on the county, and he needs the position.
It does if the employees are on overtime.
He's saying that's fully reimbursed by the people that they're working for.
Right, but who's going to calculate that?
Whoever does payroll for the sheriff's department is going to have to be in charge of that.
Well,
because they're going to be the only ones knowing what hours they're working.
payroll's done through the payroll department here.
These 3 people will not be overtime. They will not. Are we talking about the 3 people or the?
No, we're talking about when the full-time staff has to cover for events.
Okay, but we should hire these
Yeah, I mean,
these 3 people to limit the hours of the full-time people.
And that's all you're asking
you're-
for is just 3, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
the whole program, right?
Right. Well, the
program's been done away with.
Yeah, it's already.
Yeah.
We can't do
the
nothing
three's
about
to help cover the lack of.
Yeah.
So how did you guys end up at the 3 number? If everybody's going to be reimbursed, why not increase that number to like 4 or 5?
I didn't want to throw that big of a number at you guys, I guess, right off the bat.
On a dance where there's 2,000 people, how many Seward County, whether it be reserve or full time, are required?
6.
6. So it's obvious we'll have people on overtime.
It's a good possibility, yes.
But if you keep them under the 1,000 hours that Forrest just said, they will not be required to enter into the KPNF and all that.
Oh, I'm not worried about that at all with the part-time.
Yeah, the 3
Positions.
part-time.
Well,
Your
no,
full-time,
I'm talking about your full-time guys. You're just the part-time guys are what you were talking about. I thought you were going to be a penalty if you.
And the
went
full-time
through
guys
all
are already in KPNF anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but I thought you were going to get additional penalty pay to go if they did too many hours.
The additional
Yeah.
full-time
Well, because
required
yeah, they'll
for like
become
6,
full-time.
Most likely will be on
Yeah.
overtime for those events. So, okay. So we have a motion or?
Well, so at that point, like, question that I just asked, wouldn't it just be better to get more of these part-time guys, and then you reduce your full-time people, and then we reduce what we're talking about right now?
We just went through cutting back on, the sheriff department did away with 2 deputies, as I recall. Like 2 or 3, I don't know, February's.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we're wanting to rehire. So I know
It costs
part-time.
something to put them through the academy. I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so who's going to pay for go to the academy?
Oh, we will.
How are you going to reimburse?
I said not all of it would be reimbursed.
Yeah. So there will be additional costs to the county. So, okay. Any other questions?
Do you have the, whatever portion of the academy costs, do you have that within your budget? You're hoping to, or?
I'm sure. The sheriff gets his budget, and he'll make it work. So.
I would kind of want to see more information on that and what that looks like, at least for the academy part of it. So is there a way that we can maybe bring this back? Or
Yeah, this was just added late Friday to the agenda, so.
Ryan, you had mentioned that it's been disbanded. What time frame are your current reserves done?
I believe they have events till the end of June.
So would they have a little bit of time to look into some of the questions that they have tonight, and you would still have reserves working the events through? They could possibly talk about this on the June 1st meeting then?
Yeah.
Could you get us what the LLC company costs? That's what you're using now? That's what it says. Using an LLC to contract security service for event.
Okay. The sheriff has also responded. He is off on medical leave right now, but he's watching from home. He says he does have it in his budget, and the only thing that they would pay for at the academy is the wages for the individuals that would be attending the academy. I don't know what that cost is, but that's what he responded.
Okay, excuse me. You're with reserves, right? Could you come up so everyone can hear you to the mic? Please.
We were just notified about this whole situation Saturday. The sheriff didn't personally talk to all of us about it. It was our commander, which is Isaac, and our vice commander, which is Mike. It just came out of nowhere. We don't know exactly where everything was coming from. There's a lot put into it that all the reserves do. And you guys probably are, yeah, I hear the questions. All of these events are normally formed as like the event center. When something's going on there, it's a total of 6. It's 3 full-time, 3 reserves. And normally we are paired up with the full-time. Obviously, we are not fully trained. We get trained to a certain limit during our monthly meetings. We get paid for whatever we work those nights. There's events. I believe none of that money comes out of the county's budget. It all comes out from whoever they do the contract with, and the contracts are done by Isaac and Mike. I'm not fully aware that the sheriff or the undersheriff do any of that because it's mainly the reserves commander and vice commander that take care of the whole situation. The way it was brought up to us that from one day to another, hey, you guys are done. I don't think it was properly done by the sheriff's office or the sheriff itself. I personally think that they should have spoken to us about it. Like, hey, this and this is going on. This is what we're thinking. There's some of these reserves that have been on there for so many years, that have given their life, their time to the community, not just for the sheriff's office, but to the community. And then all of a sudden they come and tell them, hey, you guys are done. We were told that it was only that if we didn't have any events the rest of May, or we only go up to the first week of June till we have our monthly meeting then in June, then to turn in our belongings that we have. And the ones that have an event still, I believe there's still a quinceañera this coming weekend, and then the first weekend of June. Then you guys can keep your things, but once you guys work those events, you have to turn in your things. So yeah, it was just like out of nowhere where all of this was brought up to us. And then that other thing is that this was not explained to us in any other way. So yeah, some of us do have questions like, why all of a sudden, why would they not speak to us and be like, hey, who's interested in, we're going to bring it up, who would be interested in doing a part-time job with us? And you guys would be doing this exact same thing you're doing now, but with the difference that you'll have to go to an academy for 2 weeks. No, it was just told, you guys are done. It wasn't handled properly, I believe, to the standards that we hold the office to.
So
I don't know.
So something that you just said. So there's usually 3 full-time and then 3 part-time.
Yes, at an event, like in the event center. And then in the ag building, if there's an event going on there, it's 2. It's 1 full-time, 1 part-time. 1 reserve. And then same thing like in the games at Southwestern Heights, that's a total of 2. Same thing, full-time, one reserve. In the college, I believe it just depends on what the event is. Then it'll be from 2 to 4. It just depends on that. And I mean, I agree with Ryan. It did drop down a lot with in the event center. But we would work on a rotation on who would work. Obviously, the reserves have their full-time job. So, like if I work this weekend on my full-time job, then I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'll work this weekend. I'll work that event. It would all just go in the work with your schedule kind of thing, and there'll be times that, yeah, we'll have an event in the event center and we'll have an event in the ag building. So I don't know if you guys have a question. As for me as a reserve, and I've been a reserve for 2 years, almost 3.
Any questions?
Again.
Mr. Pittman is a reserve.
My name is Jim Pittman. Been a reserve for 4.5 years. I think to answer one of your questions, Commissioner Helm, you were talking about the overtime for the full-time guys. So these events that are held at the ag building or the event center, say it's a quince, so that family pays for it. To my knowledge, that full-time deputy does not get paid out of the county budget. That deputy gets paid from that event. So that deputy should not hit overtime. Am I explaining that correct? Okay. I wanted to get that clarified for you guys. Okay.
But switching over to the sheriff department payroll, then those employees will be on overtime now.
If it switches, yes, but if it's still billed out like it was before,
right.
I don't believe they should.
That's what's changing is that
yeah.
It becomes you have a fixed cost. You know what your hourly cost is now.
Right.
The fixed there won't be a real known fixed cost. It will vary according to if they're on overtime, not overtime. You're going to run the same thing with part-time. If you have part-time, it's going to be the same thing as part-time now. There's some weekends, some days.
Correct.
You can work, some days they can't.
Correct.
So same way with whoever they hire as part-time.
Right.
Will be the same scenario.
Yeah.
There may be days they have. These aren't intended to be full-time jobs, to my knowledge.
Correct.
I guess. Are they turned into full-time jobs, or they just for your part-time people you're proposing to hire? Yeah. So they will have work schedules much like the reserves do now. So sometimes they will be able, sometimes they won't. So, or anyway.
Okay. Commissioner Helm, Forrest here. Just a clarification question. I may have misunderstood what the commenter was saying. Was there a statement that the officers that are doing these covering these extra duties that would never implicate overtime? Or did I misunderstand?
It's if I understand it, it's paid out of like a reserve fund. It's kind of a separate. I don't know how you.
I'm here just to ask for them to reposition. That's all.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I mean, I think
positions.
I'm sorry, Sheriff Ward sent some additional comments that he asked me to share. He says, as the sheriff, he has the authority to keep them or not. There are only maybe 4 reserve programs left in the entire state. Everyone else went to part-time positions. He does not feel like this came out of nowhere, as they have been talking about it for months.
Okay. So I guess the motion would be to either, the reserve program apparently is done. So the request is for 3 part-time positions. So
I would make a motion to hire 3 part-time reserve officers for the sheriff department.
I will second the motion.
we have a motion by Commissioner Metlin, a second by Commissioner Stanton to approve the sheriff department to allow them to hire 3 part-time reserve officers. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 4-1.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item 10 is the release financing for the CAT D6 dozer. Commission needs to vote on the bank lease purchase rate. It's a 2026 capital improvement lease purchase of a 2026 CAT D6 dozer that we approved on 11/3/25. The financing, they got a rate of 5.6% from Bank of Beaver and 4.53 from the Bank of the Plains. So the recommendation is to approve the lease purchase with the Bank of the Plains 4.53 interest rate on the CAT 2026 D6 dozer, which I assume is in or will be in.
It should be next week.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? No. Do you have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we go with the lease purchase rate with the Bank of the Plains at 4.53% for the previously approved 2026 CAT D6.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, second by Commissioner Vasquez to approve the lease purchase agreement, Bank of the Plains at a 4.53% interest rate. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 4-5-0. Go to item 13, because we did 11 and 12 as 7A and 7B. So,
She had to take a small break, and she will be right back.
No. Item, and again, item 13 is the acceptance of the FIG grant funds. And it's reallocation, or re-explain, it's a long explanation, but.
So the long and short of it is that FIG has finally decided to play in the same sandbox with us, yay. And that we have $75,235.22. Of that, $49,190 would be allocated towards a 2-year contract to extend our EHR contract extension, which is our electronic health record. $6,194.48 of that would be allotted towards our port account machine and particle generator maintenance. That's what we use for our fit testing for our N95 masks. And then the remainder of the $19,850.74 is distributed between travel, training, competency equipment, education, things for the nurses, all in compliance with the FIG grant requirements and to help alleviate funding on the county. This was a long process. It was very drawn out. This helps extend positively helping the county operations for 2 to 3 years. The contracts that you'll see following it will be approved separately. This is just for us to accept the money per my grant procedure so that we can move forward with what we can do with it.
So, do we have a motion to approve the FIG grant funds reallocation as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the reallocation of the big grants totaling $75,235.22 as outlined by the Director of the Health Department.
Do I have a second?
I will.
Have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Louderback to approve the FIG grant reallocation in the amount of $75,235.22 as presented. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Oh, this is the big grant funds to pay for a 2-year extension for the Nightingale Notes, which is the electronic health record for the Seward County Health Department. The current contract with EHR is through 8/31/28. This would extend the contract by 2 years, ending in 8/31/2030. The county would pay $49,190 due in 2026 to Nightingale Notes or CHAMP software, and would be reimbursed in full by FIG. Just out of curiosity, is this a system that's been used for a number of years?
This is the one that we got, I think in 22 or 3. I can't remember what year we got it.
Okay.
That took us completely electronic.
Okay.
And this $49,000 takes you through the end of the current contract term in 2030. Is that correct?
Yes. And this will save the county about $25,000 to $30,000 a year, with the FIG funds paying for it.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize the Health Department to pay Nightingale Notes $49,190 from the FIG funds, which will cover all costs due through 8/31/2030.
And for me to sign the contract, if you could add that.
And for the Health Department Director to sign the contract.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Metlin to approve the contract with Nightingale Notes or CHAMP software in the amount of $49,190, which would extend the contract 2 years until 8/31/2030. Seems like forever. And to allow Bree Greason to sign the contract. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item 15. The TSI port account quote. Big funds are authorized to pay for a 5-year clean and calibration contract with TSI for our port account machine and particle generator. Seward County would, this pays for the maintenance and testing, fit testing, things like that. Seward County would pay $6,194.48 upfront for this service and be reimbursed by FIG. So do we have a motion to approve this and allow Bree Greason to sign the contract?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
John? The only question, comment you would like with fit testing? Do you work with the fire departments to make sure?
We can now that we're going to have the service and cleaning contract paid for by us. Prior to that, we could only do the health department staff under our FEP, which is Public Health Emergency Preparedness contract. So once we pay for this, yes, we could do different things for
be able to do like even Seward County and
Yes.
City of Liberal fire departments.
Yes.
For the fit test.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Metlin to approve the FIG grant to pay for $6,194.48 to TSI port account quote, TSI port account, and to allow Bree Greason to sign the contract. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Item 16. This is a long one, Bree, and you're probably better explaining it.
I'm going to read it verbatim. I made sure that whoever was reading it on the agenda could see exactly what I was doing. I'm requesting approval to restructure the health department budget without requesting any additional county funds beyond what's already approved in the 2026 budget. I'm proposing that with the available funding, it be redistributed to all health department staff with a 7% wage increase. This restructuring is intended to assist both staff retention and recruitment in an increasingly competitive healthcare workforce environment. Maintaining experienced staff and attracting qualified employees is essential to sustaining services, preserving institutional knowledge, and ensuring continuity of public health operations for the community. By utilizing existing approved budget funds and restructuring internally, this proposal aims to strengthen workforce stability while remaining fiscally responsible to the county. The health department was approved for a total personnel services budget of $1,046,000. Of that, $70,000 was originally associated with FIG funding and has since been reallocated. As we just discussed, this results in a personnel service budget of $976,000. With the internal restructuring, a 7% wage increase for all health department staff, and the revised projected personnel services expenditures with this revision would be $973,339.54. This remains within the approved budget and leaves the department approximately $2,606.46 under the budget for this year. This restructuring plan also continues to support the health department's operational needs by maintaining the ability to hire for the 2 currently open RN positions, continue providing jail nursing services, and increasing starting RN and clerk wages to a more competitive level within the current healthcare market. Competitive wages are critical to improving recruitment and retention efforts, particularly in rural healthcare settings, where workforce shortages continue to be a significant challenge. At the time this agenda was submitted, the MCH nurse position had been open for 62 days with only 1 applicant, and awaiting this decision if she's going to possibly want to still be in selection for that. The clinic nurse position has been open for 104 days, has received 2 applicants, one of whom possibly will be coming on depending on what happens tonight with this. These ongoing recruitment challenges have demonstrated a need to remain competitive with compensation in order to attract and retain qualified nursing and clerk staff while still providing essential public health services. The short and long of it is, like we talked about in our work session, that was unfortunately not live streamed. We've been working internally with the nurses at the health department, including myself. This will delineate all of our duties to be a little bit different. Prior administration has not been the backup to clinical staff, so I will be taking on some of those roles when we are down. We're hoping that with these adjustments that we can actually get some people to consider coming to us. Whether we like it or not, our benefit package did change a little bit of some of our recruiting tools. And so with this wage adjustments, we're hoping that we can get our services still done appropriately and still stay open the same hours, not have to reduce services, and still work within our budget. And also extensive cross training's been taking place like we talked about. And so staying within our budget, being creative, that's kind of the goal here that we've all been working towards. Any questions I can help you guys answer, I would love to.
That was quick.
Sorry, it's long.
Do we have any questions, comments? Motion?
Just to clarify, Bree, essentially what you're asking is not dissimilar to what was done with the Sheriff's Department a month ago, correct?
Similar, yes.
And it's been how many years since any of these individuals have had any kind of a...
3, 4. I know we got one right after I started, but I don't remember. I think it's been 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also just to clarify, I'm not sure where the numbers are coming from, but I have not had a 128% or $60,000 increase to my wage since I started this position. So I'm not sure where that comes from. Also, I did run some numbers on what it would take for us to be open Fridays. With this raise, about $137,000 ish, with just the wages, not lights, supplies, benefits, anything like that. And then on the provided document that you have, I also just want to note that budgeted hours are not standardized across all the positions. Each program has different operational demands, funding structures, and staffing needs. And then it's a breakdown of how many hours each person's budgeted for the year.
And you're still below your budget allocation by that much.
Yes, sir.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I think the departments, they can work within their budget, move people around. You don't have as many people, I guess you're losing somebody, shifting that to cover. Problem with it, I guess. I mean, if it takes that to recruit these open positions and be competitive, then I guess. Yeah.
Man, it looks.
We've done it once before. I think other departments have the same opportunity if they can. If it's workable, I think I'm open to it. So I guess I'd make a motion to
Approve the health department restructure.
approve all this. Budget restructuring, yeah, with a lot of words here for the health department. Is that a motion?
Sounds good. So we have a motion by Commissioner Metlin, a second by Commissioner Lauterbach, to approve the Seward County Health Department budget restructure and adopt the proposed wage breakdown. Is that good? Is that good, Stacia? Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. That's all.
She's not done.
Oh, I got one more. We're not done, folks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Try to be fast. Huh?
Does it get better?
It gets really easy, if that counts. There's nothing in the packet?
Nothing in my packet.
There's two more. 17 and 18.
Which is fine. It's the.
Do you want me to read it?
It's the WIC budget. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Never look. I do mine online and never. So this is for the pre-approval of the WIC, and it's asking for permission for pre-approval to apply for the WIC funds, NSA funding, and breastfeeding peer counselor. The WIC fiscal year is 10/1/26 to 9/30/27. The Health Department Director is asking for pre-approval to apply for this. The NSA amount requested is $474,017. The BFPC funding is for $17,369. The county pays upfront for these costs and is reimbursed monthly at 100% by WIC. So do we have questions on this WIC, the pre-approval for the WIC funding?
This number may, I had a call this morning. I apologize. This number may go up on the NSA funding. They are possibly making us add a position that we would fill with our current staff. But just so you're transparent, these won't be the final numbers. We're waiting for state to get back to me on if we're putting it into 27's budget or we're putting it into 28's. So my tentative plan is to apply for what you see here unless they say different. So if it's okay, it's all going to still be reimbursable by WIC. We would not be creating a new position. If it was a mandated new position, I would bring that back to you guys. But this is just the pre-approval so that I can apply by May 31st.
So if we made the motion in the approximate dollar value.
Yeah, and it could state something as simple as applying for the WIC budget as
We
directed.
don't have to list the dollar amounts.
No, because it'll change. We probably will not be awarded what we ask for. That's typical.
So do I have a motion to apply for the WIC funds for you would call it 2027 fiscal year?
Yes, sir.
NSA funding for the 2027 fiscal year, and the BFPC funding for the 2027 fiscal year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
I have a
And
motion.
let me just modify that to allow you as the commission chair to sign.
Yes, please. I do not know if there's going to be a signature page with this or not. This is the first year they've done it in KGIMS, but yes, please. Thank you, Todd.
This is just applying for the grant.
Yes, but sometimes there's a signature page associated with it. If it is, would the motion state, like he said, for you to sign that?
All right. So do you amend your motion to allow me to sign these?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Vasquez to approve the application for grants for the WIC funding, NSA funding, and BFPC funding for the 2027 fiscal year, and to allow the commission chair to sign those grant applications. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Executive sessions.
Commissioners, we do need a legal executive session this evening for 15 minutes for legal advice surrounding pending BOTA claims.
I move to recess into executive session for consultation with our attorney, which will be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship under KSA 75-4319B2 for 15 minutes to include Forrest, the commission, April, Brock's gone. No Brock. To reconvene in the commission chambers and
7:08.
7:00.
He didn't. He
Seven-
was back there.
Hmm?
Still back.
Oh,
Oh, he is?
Brock is still here.
Okay, Brock.
Brock left.
Brock can come too.
7:08. Okay. So I have a motion by Commissioner Matlin. Do I have a second?
I will.
Have a motion by Commissioner Matlin, a second by Commissioner Stanton to go in executive session for 15 minutes to resume at 7:08, and that was
Legal for BOTA claims.
legal for BOTA claim. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. We'll be back at 7:08. Okay, we're back. 7:08.
Yep.
Okay, now it's 7:08. So now no action. So John,
Personnel matters. I move to recess into executive session for discussion of personnel matters of non-elected personnel under KSA 75-4319B1 for 20 minutes to include Forrest, the commissioners, Brock, April. We're reconvening the commission chambers at 20 minutes. So you want
7:29.
7:29. Subject matter of discussion will be personnel matters of non-elected personnel.
Okay, do we have a second?
I will.
A motion by Commissioner Metlin, a second by Commissioner Louderback to go in executive session for personnel matters for 20 minutes, and we will resume at 7:29. All in favor? Motion passes 5. Okay, we're back in meeting. No action as a result of that executive session. Now we have an executive session for real estate.
I move to recess into executive session for preliminary discussions relating to the acquisition of real property under KSA 75-4319B6 for 10 minutes to include the commissioners, Forrest, Brock, April,
No.
and Tyler, and not all. Todd has recused himself. 10 minutes. We'll reconvene. 7:40.
Have a second?
I will.
A motion by Commissioner Mentland, a second by Commissioner Lauterbach to go in executive session. Real estate for 10 minutes. We will resume at 7:40. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Okay, we're back in the open meeting at 7:39. Oh, 7:40. 7:40. So,
Thanks so long.
no action. Oh. Okay.
Commission has left the conference.
I guess we don't need him anyway. Administrator comments, and we're missing our administrator. Administrator comments.
Due to the fire, I did not get you a weekly update, but I will work on that. And to remind you that I am off this week on PTO. However, I'm available by phone. I'm available by computer, and I do have backup daycare. I'm being a grandma this week, and I have both grandsons. So overnight for 5 days. So y'all pray for me.
Commissioner comments. I think Ira was up last time. Thought you're up this time.
Nothing this week.
Play.
I just want to thank the county, how everyone responded again to the disasters that we've had over the past week. And, you know, it takes a community to step up. And, you know, I think everyone's pitching in where they can.
Mr. Matlin?
I don't have anything this week.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yeah, not much. Just I appreciate everybody's work and taking care of these fires and everything like that. Take some strong and caring people to put themselves in danger to take care of this community. So I appreciate you guys, and it's a lot. So thank you.
Okay, I want to kind of echo what Commissioner Lauterbach said, except, you have something? Oh, okay. You just,
A suggestion card.
oh, okay. Thank Commissioner Lauterbach, and Commissioner Metlin. Clay was out night and day. Tremendous help. He lives in a tough part of the county. Somebody, you need to go out there if you think it's all flat, because it's sure not flat in his country. So thank Commissioner Metlin again for furnishing trucks. There was a lot of, again, just a whole bunch of community support. I know I seen fire trucks from Texoma, Huff. I didn't even know Huff had a fire department. Tyrone,
Longwood.
Hooker, Hugoton,
Texas County brought a strike force team.
Texas County, the
So
Oklahoma.
they were Guyman, Baker, Hooker, right? Huff.
Yeah, Huff.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anybody out, even our own
Stevens.
guys, Rodenbridge,
Brock.
Brock, no, that's what I was going to, Brock and Mark were up there. Again, they looked pretty ragged after being up a day or two at a time, but they were still out there working. It's amazing. People will work night and day as long as you feed them. So that's the main thing. So we fed them, but we actually had Clay and I stumbled while I was riding with Clay. So Clay stumbled upon a pickup from the Oklahoma Forest Service.
And they brought 3 dozers and a tanker after that. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And
Yeah.
they went, I think they went on to Meade County to help, right, Clay? Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's health is out there. I mean, we live, we call it liberal. Well, maybe not because political liberal, but liberal's pretty liberal. They're, we'll help when they help. So I'm good with that. Otherwise, suggestion card.
Yes, we did have one.
This one is anonymous. They didn't leave their name. The purpose of this communication is to ask you to consider placing an advisory question on the ballot regarding utility scale wind energy development in our county. This is a significant long-term land use decision that affects property owners, residents, and the future of our community. Regardless of where people stand on wind energy itself, many of us believe voters should have the opportunity to weigh in. An advisory vote would not take away your authority. It would simply provide clear, measurable input from the public before final decisions are made. I would encourage the Commission to consider placing a simple, neutral question on a regularly scheduled election ballot to minimize cost and maximize participation. Thank you for your time and consideration.
That will be added to the addendum for the record. Okay. Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We'll have a motion by Commissioner Stanton, a second by Commissioner Metland to adjourn. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you all. Have a good evening. See you in a couple of weeks.